Hey guys, how are you? Some of you have saw my other video on my Honda Rancher that I used to plow snow with. Overall, that's been a pretty good machine. Today I'm going to go over the plow I got. I bought this Moose plow about 8 years ago. I do roughly 2 miles of sidewalk every time I plow, so it does get beat up pretty good. I'm up in Cleveland. This year's been pretty pathetic with snow, but normally 15 times a year. So it's getting, 30 miles of plowing every year, which is quite a bit. This is all I use this machine for, is just this one sidewalk contract. I got the manual lever to go up and down instead of installing a winch. It's super easy. It's really no big deal to do that. Overall, plow construction's been very good. I really haven't had too many issues. The springs got overextended one time. They still work okay. I'm going to probably get new springs here shortly. Obviously, the paint's chipping off. Stuff like that. It does get used. It's not just doing a driveway all the time. So I really have no complaints on the construction of the plow. I do go through cutting edges pretty quick. Some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, that thing's destroyed. Well, it wears out really quick. So the only other issue I have with this is these carriage bolts tend to loosen up and break. So every now and then I gotta throw a new set of carriage bolts in it. As far as the plow shoes go, or skids, I was wearing them out like crazy. So what I do now is I just throw a little bit of weld on in a big washer before every time I plow. So it wears away that big washer and the weld first. And, I don't care what it looks like. By the time the 2 miles is done, this thing's pretty much wore out again. But it's simpler than buying shoes every time. And, if you have a welder and some washers, it's, pretty simple. And when I set the plow down, I'll show you this, how I have it. I learned this after wearing out tons of cutting edges and plow shoes. So when it's actually set on the ground, you can see the space that I have. So once I start plowing, it'll wear down. About a mile in, it's about half the distance, and by the time I'm done with the 2 miles, the cutting edge is almost on the ground. So it works for me. It's a lot simpler than changing the cutting edge all the time. So most of this wear on the cutting edge was prior to me doing that welding in the washer on the shoes. But overall, this plow's been really good. If you're just doing your driveway or just, some small stuff, this thing is going to last forever. I'm not saying this is the best plow out there or anything like that, but for me, it's virtually been pretty indestructible, minus the wearable items. So I hope this video helped, and hopefully it snows. Have a good night.